There is a silent war happening inside your mind. No noise, no alarms, no visible enemy. And yet, it is slowly draining your energy, stealing your focus, and weakening your spirit. You wake up tired, even after sleeping. You feel overwhelmed, even when nothing big happened. You lose motivation, even though you have goals. This isn't random. It's not bad luck. It's not the world. It's something much deeper. The ancient Stoics understood this long ago. The greatest destruction doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. And today, without realizing it, you may be feeding the very things that are destroying your mind. In this video, you'll discover 7 hidden enemies, subtle habits, patterns, and ways of thinking that are quietly weakening your mental strength. And more importantly, you'll learn how to take your power back. You scroll, you watch, you observe other people's lives, and without even noticing, you compare their success, their body, their money, their life. And suddenly, your own life feels smaller. But here's the truth. Comparison is a mental trap. You are measuring your real life against someone else's highlight reel. The Stoics warned against this. They believed that your focus should never be on what others have, but on what you control. Because every second you spend comparing, you lose connection with your own path. You stop building your life. You start judging it. And slowly, that judgment turns into dissatisfaction, then frustration, then insecurity. If you want to protect your mind, you must understand this. Someone else's life has nothing to do with yours. Different timeline, different struggles, different story. When you stop comparing, you don't become arrogant. You become free. You replay conversations. You imagine scenarios that never happen. You analyze every decision, again and again. It feels like control, but it's not. It's mental exhaustion. Overthinking is one of the fastest ways to destroy your peace, because instead of living in reality, you live in possibilities. Endless, uncontrolled, chaotic possibilities. The Stoics had a simple rule. If it's in your control, act. If it's not, let it go. But overthinking ignores this rule. It tries to control everything. And in doing so, it creates anxiety. Because you were never meant to control everything. You were meant to act and then move forward. Think about it. How many times have your worries actually come true? And even when they did, were they ever as bad as your mind imagined? Your mind is powerful, but undisciplined, it becomes your worst enemy. Silence the noise. Act when needed, and then let go. You post something, and then you wait. For likes, for comments, for approval. You say something, and then you watch people's reactions. Did they agree? Did they accept you? This is dangerous, because the moment your happiness depends on others, you lose control over it. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within, not from applause, not from recognition, not from external validation. Because people are inconsistent, their opinions change, their attention fades. If your self-worth is built on their approval, then your confidence will always be unstable. One day you feel powerful, the next, empty. Instead, build something stronger, internal validation. Ask yourself, did I act with integrity? Did I do my best? Did I stay true to my values? If the answer is yes, that's enough. Because real confidence isn't loud, doesn't need permission. It comes from knowing who you are, without needing others to confirm it. Your mind weakens when your habits are weak. You delay things you know you should do. You avoid discomfort. You choose what's easy instead of what's necessary. And little by little, you lose control over yourself. The Stoics valued discipline above almost everything because they understood this. If you can't control your actions, you can't control your life. Discipline is not punishment, it's power. It's the ability to act, even when you don't feel like it. To wake up when it's hard, to work when it's uncomfortable, to stay consistent when motivation disappears. Without discipline, your mind becomes chaotic, reactive, unstable. But with discipline, everything changes. You gain clarity, you gain control. You build confidence, not from words, but from action. And that's what strengthens the mind. You think about what you said, what you should have done, what you lost, what went wrong, and even though it's over, it still controls you. This is one of the most painful traps, because the past feels real, it feels alive. But in truth, it's gone. And every second you spend there is a second you lose in the present. The Stoics were very clear. You cannot change the past, but you can destroy your present by holding on to it. Learn from it. Yes. Reflect on it. Yes. But don't live there, because life is happening now. Opportunities exist now. Growth happens now. And if your mind is stuck in yesterday, you will miss everything today has to offer. Let it go. Not because it doesn't matter, but because your future matters more. What will people think? This question has stopped more dreams than failure ever did. You hesitate. You hold back. You silence yourself. Not because you can't act, but because you're afraid of being judged. Here's the truth. People will judge you no matter what. If you try, they judge. If you don't, they judge. If you succeed, they judge. If you fail, they judge. So why give their opinions so much power? The Stoics believed that other people's opinions are outside your control, which means they are irrelevant to your actions. You don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to approve of you. You only need one thing: to act in alignment with your values. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who lives with your choices, not them. Don't trade your potential for temporary approval. This is the most dangerous one, because it doesn't hurt immediately. It slowly empties you. You wake up, but there's no direction. You move, but there's no meaning. You exist, but you don't feel alive, without purpose. Everything feels heavier. Discipline feels harder. Struggles feel pointless. Even success feels empty. The Stoics believed that every person must have a purpose, a reason to act, a direction to follow. Because purpose gives strength to the mind. It creates clarity. It builds resilience. When you know why you're doing something, you can endure almost anything. So ask yourself, what am I building? What am I moving toward? What kind of person do I want to become? You don't need all the answers right now, but you need direction. Because a mind without purpose will always feel lost. Your mind is your greatest asset, but also your greatest responsibility. If you don't protect it, these 7 things will slowly take control: comparison, overthinking, validation, lack of discipline, the past, fear of judgment, and lack of purpose. They don't destroy you overnight. They do it quietly, daily, until one day you feel disconnected from yourself. But here's the good news: you can stop it. Right now. Not by changing everything at once, but by becoming aware, by taking control, by choosing discipline over comfort, clarity over chaos. action over fear. Because the moment you take ownership of your mind is the moment your life begins to change. Look at your life right now and ask yourself honestly, which one of these is destroying your mind the most? Fix that, and everything else starts to follow.